Hello, thank you for joining our presentation. Today we'll be talking about incorporating ocean literacy into curriculum standards. My name is Sarah Taylor.
My name is Maxine Cutracci, and we manage a marine science center in an international school in Hong Kong.
The Marine Science Center is an aquarium and laboratory facility focused on education and outreach programs. Please enjoy this short video made by a few of our most enthusiastic students.
Harbour School has added a new place for learning about the ocean.
It's called the Marine Science Center.
It's filled with animals that live near Hong Kong and that are important for a healthy ecosystem. My favorite animal is a seahorse because it uses its tail to go fast.
Here we get to see cool animals up close and have teachers that can tell us
All about the ocean.
and the animals that live there.
I love learning about the ocean.
And want to help save it one day.
Now, as most of you can recognize, teaching marine science with a fully functioning aquarium would make ocean literacy that much more attainable. But today we want to talk about how we implemented and infused marine science into the current curriculum to meet ocean literacy principles' objectives. Before the Marine Science Center was completed, Maxine Cutracci and myself worked with teachers, admin, and science coordinators to come up with lessons that linked to their science strand and planned activities for the students to come to our classroom or on field trips to learn about the marine environment. As you can see here, for pre-K and kindergarten, we follow the NGSS standards for forces and interactions, interdependent relationships and ecosystems, and weather and climate. We link these with topics in the ocean. For instance, forces and interactions and pushes and pulls, we use ocean in motion. Our units that we've developed are motion in the ocean, what powers the sea, what is wind and where does it come from, and how do waves help animals. We do this in the classroom using a variety of tools and activities that anyone can use. Here you can see a photo of students using wind from their mouth to blow an item on floating water, compared to an item that's at the bottom of the tub. Here they can see the interactions between wind and waves. In grade 1, students learn about waves, space systems, and molecules to organisms. The topics we cover that link to marine science are light and sound through water, water from space, and plant and animal populations. One of my favorite things to teach is water from space, so the students get to learn about how the ocean was formed, how water came from space, and the possibility of water on other planets. In grade 2, you can see the standards here on the left, and the topics we link are states of matter, food chains and food webs, and observing an aquarium. In grade 2, they get to learn about water in all states, learn about the marine food web and how animals interact with each other, and learn how to make observations and identify animals and plants' features. In grade 3, they learn about simple machines, earth systems, natural disasters, and how life has changed throughout time. We make marine science links by teaching them about seafloor topography, mid-ocean ridges and trenches, seamounts, and guyats. They also learn about tsunamis and earthquakes and their connection to the seafloor. In grade 4, they learn about energy and electricity, soil, erosion, and mixtures and solutions. One of the ways we connect to electricity is talking about animals that produce their own electricity. For this, we use an activity called squishy circuits, which you can find on YouTube. Alongside the electricity lesson and the animals that they make, they also learn about the world's magnetic field and how animals utilize the magnetic field to find their way around the ocean. In grade 5, they're able to learn about Earth and human activity, along with pollution and the energy transfer throughout ecosystems. We link this by talking about Hong Kong marine ecosystems, then link to pollution, and then finally they are able to have a global issues conference where they are able to research a topic and remain non-biased to create activism and change in the environment. Hong Kong marine ecosystems and pollution activities include building an ocean buoy that monitors the levels of salinity, temperature, and solar radiation that they then put out into the ocean and collect at a later date to practice data collection and graph making. At the Harbour School, our primary also includes grade 6, with middle school being grade 7 and 8. So in grade 6, they learn about the human anatomy, flight and rocketry, and forecasting and climate change. We link this by having the students compare human anatomy and that to a squid and fish. For flight and rocketry, they learn about submarines and submersibles and how deep the ocean is. And for forecasting and climate change, they learn about how the ocean is a major influence on weather and climate, and they can predict future climates and weather. As you can see, the activities we do in the classroom are not just for the facilities that have live aquariums. Almost all of our activities and links can be done in any classroom setting.
The lessons we do in the classroom are engaging and informative, but just as important as classroom learning is, field trips are where true investigation and ownership of learning takes place. We arrange field trips for all grade levels to visit one of the many ecosystems in Hong Kong. We are extremely lucky to live in a place that has corals, mangroves, rocky, sandy shores, with Hong Kong having over 250 islands and peninsulas to explore. For those of you who do not live and teach near the ocean or aquatic ecosystems, fieldwork can still be done and have a meaningful impact to the learner in any ecosystem. Some suggestions are, for example, to organize outdoor activities, for example to a garden or a salt marsh, a lake or a river, to observe nature, organisms and their relationship, observe how humans interact with nature and rely on it, for example visiting a farm or a vegetable garden, learn about the water cycle, collecting water with a rain gauge, observing clouds, observe where water goes, or even use a microscope to analyze life, such as a water sample, sand, soil, or leaves, and also have a small freshwater tank in the classroom, or a worm farm, or for example grow seeds. As well, contacting NGOs and conservation groups that work in your area can allow the students to meet experts and get real-life experiences. Another option and a practice we have found most helpful during COVID is virtual field trips and communicating with sister schools to have a student exchange of data, experiences, or opinions. Working with inland schools to compare and contrast the ecosystems, biodiversity, and species richness has been an amazing way to connect students that otherwise would have no exposure to the marine world. We could not function as well as we do without the resources we have found along the way to enhance and guide our lesson scaffolding. Some of the best resources we have found to learn about the environment whilst virtual or without access to the outdoors are, for example, Gizmos and Perdek and iNaturalist.
An invaluable resource in the classroom is to get an aquarium. Small aquariums are easy to come by and maintain. Under the right conditions, they can provide real, tangible evidence for the topics you are covering in marine science. If anyone would like to hear more about what we do or would like to partner as our sister school and have a virtual tour of our facility, please do not hesitate to reach out. You can email us at msc@ths.edu.hk. Once again, thank you for listening to our presentation, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.